and now C-SPAN editor and the moderator of the next presidential debate, Steve Scully, has been sullied. He was an intern for Joe Biden, worked for Ted Kennedy and Jimmy Carter, and tweeted at the Mooch, asking the never-Trumper if he should respond to Trump. What was he talking about here? Did he mean it to be a private message? Why was he even communicating with the Mooch in the first place? Scully claimed, without any proof, that his account was hacked. And this is the third time Scully has claimed his account was hacked. Here to react, conservative author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza, who's got a new film out called Trump Card. Dinesh, if indeed the account was hacked, then that's election interference. You hack the account of the moderator for the upcoming presidential debate. I mean, he should be reporting this to the FBI, shouldn't he?
Of course he should. I think what you see from these different incidents is just a pattern of bias that is so blatant that I think it's very difficult for the American people not to find transparent. You know, if a referee wants to be biased, it's always good to pretend not to be, to scratch your head and go, oh, it was a tough call. But this is kind of like a fight where the referees are jumping in the ring and pounding one of the fighters, and the audience can totally see what's happening.
It's different because, like you said, they used to pretend. Or at least they did a better job of pretending. I wonder what changed that, because we've seen this crescendo into anti-Republican bias. It just accelerated under Donald Trump. I wonder if you can pull it back from here. I wonder if years later you get kind of a more mellow Republican and they kind of try to rein it in, or it's just going to be eviscerate anybody to the right of Bernie for here on out.
Well, I think what's happened is that the standards of objectivity that were at least a governing ideal, they might not have been respected in the practice, but they were at least upheld in the theory. But see, now when conservatives say to the media, in effect, look at the way you cover Trump's tax returns, why don't you show an equivalent attention to Biden's family tax returns? We're appealing to a higher standard of objectivity that I don't think that these people even share. We are expecting of them nobler ideals than they actually aspire to.
Do you think the credibility of Scully's shot, the credibility of the debate commission, I mean, they're just stacked with never-Trumpers and Democrat donors. I mean, do you think they have any credibility left?
I really don't. I think that these institutions are now showing themselves. You know, they had a certain solemnity in the past, and I think most of us had sort of a civics book idea of how all this works. Now that with Trump we've been given a glimpse behind the curtain, we see how rotten to the core these institutions are. In some ways, you know, our faith in these institutions, I think, will never be the same.
I mean, they do say that Trump has destroyed the institutions, but in a weird way, he's exposed the institutions, and they've destroyed themselves.
Yeah, if you think about the media, you know, we don't even have a media in the classic sense of an independent group that is removed from government, applying a critical lens to the government, giving people information that they can use to make their own decisions. When we think of the press that way, we realize that there is no real press of that kind in America today.